Hello everyone, let's discuss today's The Hindu editorial page. The first article is a case diary for the Indian police. In this article, the writer says that the 3-day conference in Jaipur, India, focused on the increasing importance of law enforcement and the high stakes that the administration has in efficient policing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke at the event, and most officers interacted individually. The growing importance of law enforcement in the country and the high stakes that the administration has in efficient policing have led to a decline in public trust and confidence in the police force. The public image of the police remains poor, with no guardian organization reaching out to the poorest in the community. This is why there has been no upgradation in the reputation of the police forces, and no police commission has been able to do much in this regard, except for some inane observations. The growing discord between the centre and opposition-led states is another complexity, as the New Delhi conceived and managed Indian Police Service, IPS, is perceived as a permanent irritation to some states who view the IPS as unreliable intruders. The role of the Enforcement Directorate, ED, and its implications for federal governance will have to be sorted out sooner rather than later. Attacks on ED officers in a few places in India pose a danger to relations between New Delhi and states. In fairness to the police, they have become more technology savvy. This may be because there are more educated policemen in lower echelons than before, but the high rate of unemployment in India drives many to opt for a police job. The question is whether young men and women who become constabularies or sub-inspectors will get an opportunity to display their talent. The situation in most of the world is different, with every recruit starting at the lowest rung of the ladder and rising up the ranks. A major restructuring that narrows the gap between higher and lower ranks could help in exercising the right to exercise their rights and responsibilities. In conclusion, the 3-day conference in Jaipur highlighted the growing importance of law enforcement in India and the need for reforms to improve the public image and reputation of the police force. The next article is Numbers Game Factors Affecting General Improvement in Sanitation Must Be Overcome. In this article, the writer says that the Swachh Sarvekshan Awards, an annual exercise of recognizing cities, towns, and states for their impressive performance in public sanitation, have been announced for the 8th year running. Indore in Madhya Pradesh has been awarded India's cleanest city for the 7th consecutive year, sharing the honors with Surat, Gujarat. Bhopal, Indore, Surat, and Visakhapatnam have become established over the years, suggesting a degree of stagnation. The survey creates multiple subcategories, giving more cities a chance at top scoring. However, some classifications weaken credibility. Mahau in Madhya Pradesh has been awarded as the cleanest cantonment town, while Varanasi and Prayagraj are proud winners of the cleanest Ganga town, and Chandigarh is the cleanest Best Safai Mitra Surakshit Sheher. Public sanitation is not a result of active choice but is heavily influenced by history, economic conditions, and proximity to power. Few cities are perpetually at the top, which means less attention is paid to factors that hinder general improvement in sanitation. To make future surveys work as a useful barometer of progress, it is important to acknowledge that consistent toppers have already put in place a well-oiled system and retire them from future rankings for a few years. This will throw focus and highlight challenges that stymie other cities. For civil sanitation to remain a sustainable movement, it is high time that the government intervenes and prevents it from being a numbers game. The next article is Robust Revenues. Strong direct tax receipts create a fiscal cushion and room for more reforms. In this article, the writer says that the Indian government has met nearly 81% of its direct tax collection target in the fiscal year 2023-24, with direct tax flows net of refunds at Rs 7 lakh crore. This growth is expected to surpass the budget estimate of Rs 2 lakh crore by around a lakh crore, with the full year growth settling at around 18%. Goods and services tax revenues are also likely to beat the budget math, with non-tax revenues bolstered by a generous dividend from the central bank. Corporate taxes have grown 12.4%, while personal income taxes have yielded 27.3% higher revenues. This dichotomy may persist in coming years, with the number of income tax returns hitting record levels, 8.2 crore by December 31st. The healthy revenue uptick and widening of the tax filing base offer some comfort for the government's fiscal consolidation hopes going forward, despite concerns that this year's defibrillator target of 5.9% of GDP may be missed by a small margin. The new exemption-less personal income tax regime with lower rates and per work is gaining traction. However, the government can push people into better life choices aligned with public policy goals, deepening financial markets, and strengthening macro fundamentals such as retirement savings and health insurance. The 18% GST tax on health insurance must also be reconsidered, as it entails significant costs for lower and middle-income households who face a real risk of slipping into poverty after a healthcare crisis.